Hey y'all, welcome in. Mind the Monsters. Sunshine here. We got Momster's son, our panel guest tonight. For those of y'all that have been here at the channel, this is the Barely Alive series. These are
This would
done
be my
after work weeks, days off after I get off work. It's my Barely Alive series. This is going to be a decompression. You guys come on in, grab your rocker, get up on the front porch, and we're just going to hang out. We
I
do
got
have a
mine.
special guest. You got your rocker? I do too, but I have a wiener behind me.
Oh
We do have
God,
our
oh my
special
God.
guest here tonight, so thank you for everybody that chose to come in and spend some time with us this evening. We had our beautiful Mecky in chat, so she's coming ready to sling her wrench, and we always have our Nightbot. We are super excited to have our special guest tonight.
It's not special.
We thank him for coming in. How are you tonight, Momster's son?
Just kind of all together, all in all, I'm having a great night, a great day. It's been a very, very debilitating week. Not just counting the events of yesterday and this morning. Sorry for the whistle. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week, and yesterday was it really took it wiped me out. I was exhausted by the time we got home. Um, I just kind of wanted to kind of go over the recap of yesterday and talk a little bit on what I would presume everybody saw this afternoon. It was actually really. I think we were over in Frankie's and I said something along the lines of I don't want it to be taken in any kind of disrespectful manner, but especially towards the families that don't get the opportunity to bring their loved ones home and lay them to rest. But it is one opportunity that a family got the chance to do so. And that's that will bring that family peace at the end of the day. Unfortunately, there are thousands of families that go through this daily and they don't have that opportunity. But it's just God has granted them the blessing that they have. Unfortunately, their son is no longer with us. Rest in peace, of course. But all things said is they now don't have to go to sleep at night wondering where he is, if he's roaming, and I've been in those situations myself, and not to hash out personal things with you on live, but you've been through that with me. So drawing that to this particular case, that's kind of why it sits on my chest pretty heavy. And like when you brought it up to me the other day and you asked me to I couldn't say no, and I see a lot of myself in Riley Strain. I see a lot of the love and compassion you have for me and my brother, the same love and compassion that the parents had for their son. you know Somebody made the comment the other day about the fraternity brothers and friends not being out there. It takes a lot of courage and strength. It takes a lot of courage and strength to be able to do that. And it's just bone chilling that there would be negative perspectives on that because I don't think when you're actually going through it, you've been through it. I'm not pertaining had a child of mine missing, but I can't imagine how horrible the feeling is personally.
It's gut wrenching.
Yeah, I haven't had that. I haven't had that experience, but they, like I said, they do get to find peace in the opportunity to lay him to rest, and that's just it's a beautiful thing, as painful as it is. Um, I with being on the river yesterday. I haven't lived in Nashville in a long time. I remember reading in the comments yesterday. They said that the river flows west of the Cumberland. I was more so thinking, I guess what would be eastbound on the side of downtown that we were staying. It would, from a human perspective, it felt more north and then south.
Hmm.
But where we were standing, it would have been south of where we were, 8 miles. Um, the right idea was there, but where he was located was behind fenced facility, and it
Yeah,
probably would have been even if somebody was to find him in that particular case, they would have had no business being back there. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
it could have caused more trouble. It could have caused the investigation to go a whole different route. You know what I'm saying? Why are you here? How do you know he's here? Et cetera, et cetera. You
Facts.
know, but once again, thank God that, he did not go far down, and that he did
Mm-hmm.
remain in Nashville. And it just, I think we talked about it earlier, and as brutal as it sounds, I would like to think in my mind, just what we mentioned earlier, is that he did not experience those last moments. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he passed away before those last moments, but on the understanding that he fell down into because I got pretty good footage of it yesterday of how deep, how steep, how sharp those edges look.
And like I said, we've been fishing down there, so there's rocks. I'm gonna read a couple comments. Thank you everybody for stopping in. I'll let you continue.
No, sorry.
Misty 18 Tennessee says hi, sunshine and sun, and everyone. She says she was here last night but didn't chat. Here from Cooksville.
Cookville, Tennessee.
Home. Yep.
Hey, hi,
Cool.
hi.
Oh, I jumped somebody. Prime Cowspec says so heartbroken. It is not the outcome any of us wanted, but at least his family isn't wondering anymore. Absolutely. Vesper Martini, welcome back in. Welcome back in. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. Heartbroken, but for them, glad they finally have answers. Appreciate your boots on the ground coverage.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I said, I wish I could have done more yesterday. I wish I could have traveled further. Um, I'm glad that I was able to be there on the side, at least with the opportunity. Had they had pulled him out from that portion, say he had got stuck under a driftwood or something on that side, then that would
Mm-hmm.
have been the spot to be. But we no later than come back from taking a moment to go call of nature, how you would say,
Yeah.
and then we were immediately hit by fire trucks, EMS, OMS, Nashville downtown safety,
Yep.
and the cruel factors. I saw this earlier today, about them talking about the railings down there's nowhere near enough protection for civilians down there. In my
Nope.
personal opinion, after being a Nashville native for so long, there's no protection for. There should at
I
least
agree.
there should at least be at the bottom, at the very, but at least, if it's not fenced up 10 foot high, at least at the bottom, something keeping people from going into the water,
Absolutely. I
because
agree.
just,
That green fence should run all the way down that riverfront.
yeah,
That's just my personal opinion. Eads Fencing is a great local company that's not far from out of Nashville. And I would almost bet that they would come in and give a really good price to throw up some good fencing, because with the strip and the bars and the honky tonks down there, because they're not all honky tonks, but the majority of them are. And then when you get
somebody,
into the back roads, some of those other clubs, those are like the underground. We wandered in the underground one night and Tool was in there playing randomly. You know, you never know who you're going to see
what you're gonna,
downtown.
what you're gonna bump into. I've bumped into
Right.
Derek Rucker. I've bumped into several different celebrities in downtown Nashville. And the worst part
Mm-hmm.
is, had it been a celebrity, or somebody of monetary value, so to speak, would have been handled way differently.
Oh, yeah.
Way. And in my personal, somebody commented in the section here. It said, I was going to touch up on that. I lost my train of thought. They said, how is the person who did end up in the water that was viewed yesterday? When we left on
Oh,
site, they had not found him, but shortly after they did locate him. I understand it was a
yeah.
61-year-old man. From what I also understand, he is okay.
Yeah, he was pretty beat up, but he's
He was pretty
okay.
rough, pretty beat up. But that just being a prime example, a night before they found the body, 2 weeks after, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yep.
everything had popped off on the 8th and Mr. Strain had went miss. That just being even more stacked evidence for the state, or city of Nashville to, quote unquote, get it together and put some kind of safety down there, not just
I
for
agree.
for tourists. That entire canal it's there's areas, you know, that aren't really popularized for people to really be, but it should be no, and I don't think it should be an if or a maybe. It's a yes at this point. I feel like
Yep, I agree.
I feel like we this the city of Nashville and the greater metropolitan Nashville area needs to take this on a serious note, serious basis, because not only did we have an elderly person fall in there, we had somebody who was healthy, able-bodied. Yes, he was slightly inebriated, possibly drunker than most. That's been a lot of stipulation as to how much he's had to drink, and they said he's had one beer and two waters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He was clearly under the influence.
Yeah, these are college kids. I'm sure they were pre-gaming.
Somebody spoke the other day and said even sober standing over there, it can still be terrifying. You know, I don't know if that man, that the older gentleman from yesterday, was inebriated as well, but it doesn't take that for accidents to happen, and that's what the greater metropolitan area of Nashville needs to realize, is that they need to step it up when it comes to protecting their tourists, because they are a tourist city, and they, just like I said yesterday on the drive down the Broadways, they thrive on safety. You know, we had not just EMS, fire, police out there, OEM out there last night, but we had dedicated downtown Nashville safety ambassadors down there. Where were they the night that this kid went missing?
And, you know, if you look at the footage that's been released, you don't see that many Metro cars. And, you know, from living there and growing up there, that normally downtown's crawling with Metro. You got Metro on motorcycles, Metro on bikes, you got Metro on horses.
Little segways.
The segways, yep. They're usually crawling downtown. Prime Prospect said
cars at green lights, you know.
Right.
But it's so easy to miss something.
It really is. And it gets dark when you get down there by the river too. You come out of the city lights, it's dark down there, and it's scary too. I'll be the first one to tell you it's scary down there, just the darkness alone. Prime Prospect, I love that name. I'm just going to put that out there. I love it.
And what's crazy, I also wanted to respond to some of the comments, but I wanted to get something out of my head first, is now that this case has also came to effect, not only have they found Riley, not only has this gentleman fell in the water, but they've also found two other bodies in the Cumberland River. One, I understand, was a homeless female, or a supposed homeless female.
Don't know yet.
Sorry.
Alleged.
And then another was an alleged Hispanic man in a maroon shirt. That was factual. And that he had a panther on him. Now, rather, that's a stipulation, gang relation. Maybe he was taking a walk. Maybe he was stoned out of his mind. Have you?
You never know.
It pains me to say this. There's probably more than 4 bodies in there.
Oh, I'm sure there is. If you just look up, you know, people that they've pulled out of the Cumberland River, it's like the numbers will blow your mind. I mean, it's not something that just started happening. You know, it's not. And you know, so I had people ask me on Twitter, and then I've had people ask me in other chats, you know, what causes somebody to go into the river? You have fishermen that fall in the river. You have boaters that fall in the river. You have people that choose self-harm, that jump in the river. There's so many different, you fall off the bank. There's so many different ways you can end up in that river. And that river and the Ohio River, let me tell you right now, they're not forgiving rivers.
It's not a very forgiving area at all.
No.
Those dirty bodies of water too. Once you're in there, there's portions. It used to terrify me when we were a kid, right? And draw back to a memory particularly pertaining to Dad. That little yellow raft we had,
the blow up canoe.
It had like 12, 14, 16 holes in it. Every year he would patch it. He would take us out on the water, and it would start leaking again, and then he'd swim us back. Well, there was one year we went out there, right? Now, I can't remember where we were. Maybe you do, but this is how it was such a still body outside of a current water. It was such a still body of water. There are certain portions of Tennessee you can put your hand down in the water and pull your hand back out, and it's going to create a vortex and suck you to the bottom.
We might have been at Turtle Park. Were we at the Turtle Park?
yeah, as a small child, it's like even as a grown man, going back to that thought, that is mortifying, dude. It's just like, trying to paddle down the water. I don't want to sink, but that's to the same effect as to the river's current pulling you under. That's the forces of water. Nature is not
That thing's
something that,
terrifying.
you
Oh, I
know.
hated that thing. But he
I,
loved it because he could put it in the back of the Suburban that you guys saw last night. That truck's been in the family for a long time. And God rest his soul, he's no longer with us, but he kept a pump in the truck and he would blow that thing up and I'd be like panicking on the bank. You know what I mean? They'd have life jackets on the kids and everything. And they were in streams. They weren't going out on the river and the lake. Prime Cowsbeck says, you guys have done a wonderful job. You have been respectful and haven't told things that weren't facts. You guys handled it better than anyone else I've seen cover it. Thank you so
thank
much. I
you
appreciate
so
that.
much.
We only handle facts around here. I don't
And
do any drama. Peace and
I'm
love.
all
Welcome back.
I'm all about theorizing and brainstorming and picking apart ideas, but you don't want to start putting misinformation out there from those ideas. That's how you screw up investigations. That's how you start throwing the important factors to the case off, and it becomes a nuisance and nightmare to recover. So, yeah, I just I don't like to speculate on anything. And after being no closer than 4 to 5 feet away from both the mother and father last night, it's just like I couldn't do anything but not try to, like, okay, don't even look at them. Don't even, like,
Right. Be
they're going
respectful.
through enough. They don't need,
Hmm.
they're going to have thousands of people staring at them at some point, and they're already going to
Yeah.
feel that. Don't need my eyes on them either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did amazing. I was really, really proud of you. Tracy Grace says, was that the husband to the homeless lady that was living on the hillside? I don't know. I haven't heard an identification, so I don't want to speculate on that, honey. If I do hear, I'll update the comments on the video. Normally I have a description, but I don't know where my description went. Sometimes StreamYard has a mind of its own.
I
Flyer
don't
B
think
says, thank you
really.
both for being respectful. Just found you yesterday. The mob crew. Hey, shout out to Chris. Thank you so much for sending all your amazing folks over here to us. You guys know I'm usually in chat in the mob crew. I love me some Chris and Mr. Steve. Misty 1810 said, 6'6". If he had just lost balance leaning over as tall as he is, gravity much pulls you down the embankment. You
Hey,
know.
me, hold on. I wanted to pull that to the side. You can hear. I'll turn the camera around real quick. I am a 6'1" man, right? He would have been probably a little bit taller than me.
Yeah.
I'm a lightweight.
He was Bryce's height.
Yeah, Bryce a little bit taller. I'm a lightweight myself. Even if I do, dude, I'm gonna be stumbling, and all it takes is that one off balance. And my foot rolls or my ankle rolls, and I'm drunk, and I've got my pair of boots on. Like I said, that's why I said yesterday, whenever we were driving down, right there by Shake Shack, I was like, it's really easy to crack yourself out here, especially in a pair of boots. And I was doing the exact same thing,
Yep.
jogging or running to Shake Shack, not only once, twice, but 3 times. I'm sure there's a camera footage out there of that somewhere.
Oh, I'm
Probably
sure.
because I'm sure. I'm sure some
You're probably on
security
a
guard
YouTube short somewhere.
got a good laugh out of that one.
Your TikTok.
Yeah, some poor guy in a pair of boots and a Grateful Dead jacket.
So my guys that are usually here, my community that's usually here, my new community, Bryce is my youngest son. I usually call him Tater. He's the investigator.
Tater
So
salad.
I call him Tater. He's my We're investigators. We're not investigators. We're investigators. Like a tater you eat, like a potato. That's what we are. We're investigators, and we be brain picking over here. We're
Um,
not investigators, and we don't claim to be. Fire
I
B
did
says
like
prayers to Riley's family. Not the result that we all wanted, but the family does have him back. Too many families don't have their missing loved one found, and that's exactly the point that Momster was making a few moments ago. Far cute, love you, welcome in, thank you so much. She says, "Hey mom, hey Momster son, thank you for what you did yesterday," and she's sending love and prayers.
I just wanted to touch up on one more thing that Miss
Mm-hmm.
Tracy said. I'm not sure 100% on it. I've been reading a lot of different things today. I don't think they've even and don't count me on this one. I don't think they've had the opportunity to identify that lady that was found.
No, I
Like
don't
all
think
the,
either one of them have been. As far
I
as
don't
I
think.
know, I haven't seen names attached
Yeah,
to
I don't.
either one
Well,
of them,
I
and
the
I'm all over metros.
I'm not sure about the Hispanic man if they've identified him or not, but I'm almost positive. Once again, don't quote me for it. I don't believe they've had the opportunity to identify that lady yet.
No, they've been pretty swamped, and I mean, and that's a busy city too. Like, when you live in Nashville, you get away from downtown, you're hearing gunshots and sirens all the time. It's something that is normal. I mean, and that's horrible to say that, but that's what I was saying is I love the city of Nashville. That is home to me. I live in Florida, guys, and I crave Tennessee. You guys have heard if you've seen me in a chat, I crave Tennessee. Like that's home to me. And now, CrimeCon's coming up and I had plans to go to CrimeCon. Hopefully we're still going to be able to do that, but that's home. It's home to me. So he's gonna pop off for a second here, and I'm
I'm
gonna.
still here. I'm just gonna smoke off of camera. Just give me one moment.
Okay. Okay. You can load an avatar into StreamYard. Prime Cow Spec says there's so many factors that one could end up in the river. Undertow is so strong. Exactly. And I'm gonna put a little bit of knowledge on, or not knowledge, but a little add on that. I'm gonna back up against that comment. So when you have barges sitting on the river, you already have the current and the undertow from the barges. When you have a barge sitting on the river, if you're in a boat, and this is knowledge for everybody that's listening. If you're not from an area and there's a strong river like the Cumberland River or the Ohio River, I could say her name many, many more. If there's a barge sitting there, those barges have their own undertow. There's their own suction. If you look at the river when you get close to one of those barges, you'll see the water moves different than what the rest of the river is moving. And that's because it will pull you under one of those. I'm talking about in a boat, John boat. It will pull you, boat, everything up underneath that barge because the
It's
way they're
not like
shaped.
it's not like being on the beach, but also think about how what do they call it, high wave, or because I haven't been in Florida for a while. Correct me if I'm wrong. High tide. That's right, high tide. Right, where the waves pull you out to the water. Think about that, but more instead of a horizontal basis, a more vertical basis, if you will.
Kind of like, I guess, for people that are from beach areas,
The water
imagine a rip current.
different than the water on the coastline in, say, the Carolinas or in
Mm-hmm.
Florida. It's just unless you get into more mainlanded, grounded, still water and waterways and riverways, the water's different. So if you're not from Tennessee, you don't know the downtown Nashville area, just kind of put yourself in that imaginary space. That's the best way I can explain it because I've experienced both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that high tide coming in and pulling you, instead of pulling you out, pulling you under.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of it taking you out, because, riptides, they come in like this. This is something that instead of pushing you out like this, where you feel like you can't get back in, you're going under. It's going to pull you under. And I
And
talk with my hands for anybody that's new here. I apologize if that
and you
is
also have
triggering.
to place in the factors. Okay, so water is oxygenated, and the more
Mm-hmm.
polluted that water is,
Oh,
the
it's
less
awful.
the less buoyant that water becomes to our bodies. So
Mm-hmm.
if you say put yourself in the mindset that I'm sorry, I'm done smoking now. I forgot. My bad. Put yourself in the mindset that you're sitting in a water filtration system that has still water up to, say, 400 feet, right? You do not want to get in there without proper gear because it's going to pull you to the bottom, and
Mm-hmm.
more likely you're not getting out. The water is so thick and pressurized, it's going to start putting pressure on your chest. You're not going to be able to breathe. Your nervous system's going to shut down, and eventually you're going to sink. Um, there are certain parts of the river that I would imagine also have that lower buoyancy as well, especially in that area because how trashed and nasty it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And like I
Not
said,
like
you've got debris, trash, trees, stolen cars, boats. There's a menagerie of stuff in that river. Missy 1810s, 10, so Tennessee, says our farm is in Clay County, was on the Cumberland River. The current is very fast. Yeah, absolutely. Tony's place said that water was so murky there you couldn't see anything. Yeah, and it's silt on the bottom of it.
and
So
what's so
imagine trying to dive to look for somebody. You touch the bottom of that river, you're done. You're not going to be able to see.
it's so dark down there. I mean, it's they have to use specialized LED lights just to be able to see a couple feet under. So um Okay, so I'm seeing some of the comments come through chat.
I'm not all the way down yet. I'll get down to the bottom here real quick. Prime Calspect, again, loving that name, says, I have so
There
much
she is,
respect for.
partner.
Is that our rock star?
That's our rock star right there. You can come say hi real quick. Oh, you were a fan favorite yesterday.
I know, but no, I'm not dressed.
Ooh, she's not dressed.
Not decent. She's dressed, but she's not decent. So,
well, I don't know if any of us have been decent in a long time. I'm not going to claim to be decent. Look here, I don't claim to be decent.
Oh my lord!
He gave me the shorts.
French, we're live. We're live. French.
We don't speak a French. Okay, so we have. I don't know. Some people in chat might speak French. We got some people from all over the world in here from time to time. I have so much respect for the way you guys handled this. You made sure the parents weren't on camera, and I'm so proud of the way you guys handled this. This is how it should be handled. Absolutely. And I hope we're able to show other people that you can still true crime responsibly. You can still have content. You can still do these things responsibly. We engage with empathy and respect the families.
What little bit of the cases I've got to, and not to hash up other cases, but you can draw more to those specific cases and speak on them yourself. But I've got to watch a little bit of it from my side of this perspective and supporting the channel.
Oh, wow.
Just the okay, yeah. I saw this in the
Vasper Martini, thank you so much. Really, 26 years ago, she remains a John Doe.
Oh my.
Says a Hispanic male is confirmed, but the female is mentioned on the news to being the time Riley disappeared. Also was found in the Cumberland was from 26 years ago. She remains a John Doe or Jane Doe. Wow.
Do you remember what I was just getting ready to say? I kind of paused so we can read that.
I don't know. I think I interrupted you. Prime Calspec said even mainstream media should take notes from you guys handling things. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not too happy with mainstream right now. Not too happy with mainstream, which I'm generally not happy with mainstream. I do have my few mainstream people that I absolutely love. You guys, if you're on my Twitter and have checked it out, you know I did get 2 hugs from Daddy News, Brian Eaton. So I'm really really proud of that. Really super proud of that I got to meet him and give him some hugs, and Cheryl Mack, and like I met some really good people at CrimeCon. I was honored to meet some of Gabby's family and hug Gabby's brother and Vlad's family, and wrap my arms around Bethany. I mean, I take these families into my heart. Like these are not just cases to me. These are human beings with real families and real pain. And I really do wish mainstream would, jump in alive, take some notes. Missy 1810 said, and the grass was slick from that dew already when he was out there too, right? And I don't know what time it started raining. I should probably look that up. Tony's Place said right across from the freeway downtown is pretty ghetto in areas. Shelby Street is a bad part of Nashville. Momster, he can tell you that.
Yes.
Shelby Street is really bad.
I was going to say a second ago before I lost her, I remembered what it was. So just from my personal experience from watching the different channel or cases that you've covered and cases that other channels have covered, I just want to touch, there is an appropriate way to go about doing this. And then there's a way, like I wanted to really, if you're here tonight, if you get the chance to see this tonight, I really want to thank Evil CJ and both Silky, because straight off the rip, it was nothing but love. Nothing but cooperation, nothing. That is how those things should work. I've seen a lot of the, it's kind of sad to say, being an outsider from, I'm not as in this community. I'm more on the backside of the support of things, but I've got to see a lot of the drama episodes, as you would say, and none of that's necessary. The back and forth banner between creators and whatnot. It's less, it's if anything not productive. I was going to say less than productive.
It's not worth it. And
if anything, it's clickbait.
Not at all. And it's actually heartbreaking.
We
won't discuss the clickbait I saw today.
Yeah,
I would probably come unhinged.
I'm just saying there's an appropriate way to go about doing this, and I appreciate you guys for saying and support and saying that we handled this the best that we can. It really, I was
Yeah,
really,
we're not
I was really
tragedy
nervous
pimps.
about even being here on camera. You know, I don't want to be. I'm not even a fan of having my
They know
or
me.
being
I
a
come on, my
public.
hair all tied up on top of my head, looking crazy.
You know, it's it's really me stepping out of my comfort zone, and I just want to say thank you a lot. Thank you a lot, and that actually kind of pushed me to come to live tonight and kind of do a decompression of what we kind of experienced yesterday. And after seeing the conference earlier, I mean, it was brief and short, and the parent that when the dad choked up, dude, I just had to start.
Yeah, I've got it ready. I've got
Dad,
a couple of
dad
things ready I want to share.
started choking up. He kind of froze. He was caught in the
Very
headlight,
sad.
and he kind of backed off. He just stepped away, and the mom came in. She gave her a little, and so on. It just moved down the line. It was very brief, very short, but you could feel the pain and cut the tension with a plastic fork.
Right. RQ is my beautiful Aussie mod. This is FarQ is somebody that you know, Sean. You've been trying to say thank you to for a long time. Her YouTube name is not her name that you hear me refer to her in real life.
Is this my aunt?
It is your Aussie aunt.
Hey, auntie. Guess what? I carry my koala with me everywhere in my jacket. I carry him everywhere. I love him. He is my best friend.
She says I live next to a dangerous river. Pubs are very close. We don't lose many locals each year, but we lose at least 10 tourists a year. And look, she sent me footage of that river. Dude, that river ain't no joke. That river ain't no joke. And when it floods, oh man, let me tell you what. She sent me videos of her out there, and I'm like, get away from that water. Be careful.
Just
Scares the hell out of me.
Just above FarQ's comments, Tony's place. He said right across from the freeway from downtown, pretty ghetto in areas. Dude, it was as from left to right. I mean, as far as I could see, I mean, from the different tents people had set up on both sides of the river, not just the side that we were standing on. If you noticed yesterday, if you go back through the live to the right of that Marathon oil station, there was a whole encampment road out. Like, these are people that live down there. And something else I wanted to kind of speak on is like, there was way too much traffic and activity last night out on that street, even at nighttime. So I'm not gonna, like I said, all speculation aside. And it takes a lot of courage. You know, it takes a lot of courage for people to come out and say, if they did say something. You know, see something, say something. Of course, there was way too much activity on that riverbank, and the later in the night it gets, those homeless people start to go into those areas because those are safer for them. They know they're not going to be messed with and harassed and pulled around and jerked around by Metro. And just something in my gut tells me that somebody saw something, and maybe they just didn't have the guts to step in, or, you know, hey, are you,
Right.
You know, it is Nashville. People are, I'm not saying selfish, but they're conservative, if you will.
Absolutely.
Right? And they may be in fear that they may receive retaliation from either Metro or the community for not saying something, or for saying something, or saying it too late, or however that may be perceived. There was a lot of activity out there last night, and I don't believe it would have been any different 2 weeks ago.
No, it was probably the same. These are the 8 simple rules for being an ethical true crime fanatic. And this goes for creators on any platform. Number 1, there are no victimless true crime. Number 2, there is no timeline for trauma. Number 3, investigate. Number 4, require the presence of the victim's voices. That's why we are the voices for the voiceless. Number 5, do not harm. Number 6, respect boundaries. Number 7, do not fall victim to true crime. And number 8, turn your interest into impact. And that's what I did here. Was I took something where I was a mod, on a channel, and I turned that interest into impact. And don't fall a victim to true crime. That means don't do it. Don't get too overwhelmed in these cases. Don't bring these cases into your heart and your mind so deeply that you can't function. And don't turn into a tragedy pimp.
Tony's Place has a comment that I really want to put up on panel real quick.
Okay, let me run through these real quick. I like to make sure everybody. She said lots of snags, strong undercurrent, and the sand shifts. Gypsy Witch Queen, welcome back in. Hello, hello, hello. Guys, leave some touch DNA on that like button for me. It's free. The Harry Hole's back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Tony's saying hello. Here we go. We're heading down here. We're saying hello. Far Q's saying hello. Tony said, you have your own rock star at home.
Dude, she's a rock star. She's other kinds of stars, and regardless, that's the love of my life.
You saw the vigil for Riley? Yeah, I was actually out in town. We had some errands to run, so I'll be honest with you, after the press conference with Mom, both of my boys are away from me, so I can't hug my boys, but I did make sure that I reached out to both of them. I have one of them on panel, the other one I've reached out to too. I'm virtual hugs to both of them, and hug your babies. And I'm sure that it was beautiful, and I would have loved to have been there. I'm honored to have went to one of Vlad's Vlad Castle missing here out of Orlando.
It's actually kind of haunting that you said hug your babies, because that's actually her exact words from the briefing this afternoon, tonight. If you're watching this, please go home, hug your children.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and these guys hear me say that. They hear me say that. Hug. These cases touch me, and they've heard me say it before. It's you take these into your hearts. You know what I mean? You do. And here, this is for you. Farq said, "Hey, pussycat."
Hey, pussycat. See, I got
Which one is that?
This is
I
Romeo.
can't ever tell. Romeo. Romeo, Grandma's
tell
baby.
it's Romeo because he got a tuxedo. Well, can't really see his tuxedo.
That's Romeo. Farq, she loves cats. Prime Cowspec said that's how all cases should be handled. They are humans with people that love them. Empathy, love, and respect are key facts. Say it louder for those in the back.
And I don't want to draw it to, because the whole Summer Wells case is from what
heartbreaking.
It's very heartbreaking, and I don't mean to bring that up to cause discussion for anybody, but just the way that I watched the creators handle that. None of that was necessary, and if anything, they should be very embarrassed of themselves.
A lot of them should. Let's see. I'm trying to find one. Here we go. We'll use this one.
Tony's Place. He said they don't want to be known as snitches. I just kind of want to get that. You don't have to pull it up on the panel. Eventually, you'll get there. But
yeah, I pull everybody's comment up. I try to make sure everybody feels like they're welcome.
I mean, I didn't want you to rush through it. There was something I wanted to touch up on that. Well, when I was in rehab, I have no fear in saying it. I was a former addict. I've been clean for quite some time now. It's that crime set mentality, right? I wouldn't say crime set. It's the street mentality, so to speak. That's what we called it in rehab. It's like, it's not snitching, right? You have to take yourself out of that body. Once you've lived that life for so long, it's not snitching. You have to rewire your brain to remind yourself you're doing the right thing. You're doing something that can save somebody's life and potentially it keep from disaster happening. Snitches get stitches, however that works. When it comes to life or death situations, I could understand it being petty things like, oh, Jerry stole my pencil eraser, and that's silly. But no, when it comes to human life and serious matters like this, it's not even there. Snitching isn't even the remote phrase for this. But yeah, that's exactly how those homeless people or people who have ended up in those unfortunate situations exactly will look at it, is that they don't want to be known as a snitch. They don't want to be pinned as that, and they feel like they're going to be retaliated against doing such.
Right.
Yep.
Missy 18 Tennessee said, yes, I enjoyed your content, the way you represented your channel, and I will be a regular viewer. Y'all have a great night, and thanks again for being a great channel. Missy Tennessee, thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. We appreciate you. Much love and appreciation. Sending out positive vibes.
Oh,
I hope Vesper Martini says, I hope his parents don't jump into YouTube and watch all the drama crime channels cover their son's story. I stay out of the drama channel, so I hope that I don't run across one of them. If you guys do see me in a drama chat, it's usually because I have had enough of it and I'm in there clearing up misinformation, or I'm on my soapbox, because I don't go in drama channels. Tony's Place said, I prefer logical conversation that may find solutions along with a few jokes on the side. I love Tony. Tony's awesome. He's
right.
one of our regulars in Frankie's. He's a fellow mod. Prime Calspec says, my heart aches for his parents. As a parent myself, I just want to wrap my arms
Like,
right.
it pulled everything in my body last night not to walk up to them and just give them a hug, but it would have been so inappropriate. It would have been because they didn't know me from Adam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just, me being a complete stranger, I've never met a stranger in my life. That's how I feel. I can walk up and talk up to anybody. It was any kind of inappropriate time, for any. It wouldn't have been appropriate for anyone to do anything of that nature. And even after, I just, with being that every bone in my body to walk up and hug them and just give them the love that they feel I feel they deserve, not they feel that the world probably feels they deserve.
Yeah.
And the best way we can do that is just by giving them the space and respect that they need.
And that's the way I felt about it too. They probably wouldn't have minded, you coming up, because they've I know some of the family was on panel, and Joel over at Surviving the Survivors podcast, and Steve Fisher was actually a panel guest, and he was shouting out everybody that was helping with Riley's case in the background, and I know they knew my name
He did
because
say
my
thank
name
you.
was.
He did say thank you today during the briefing for everybody that was a part
Yeah.
of trying to help.
A lot of what I do is in the background, so you don't see a lot of what I do on my channel. I don't bring everything I'm doing on my channel by any means. I'm constantly in the background working, grinding, churning, doing a lot in the background that's not brought up. Carol May 46, welcome in. She says, why didn't someone help him out of the bar to get a hotel safely? They knew he was intoxicated and they could have saved his life. That's very true. Absolutely very true. But when you're in that state of mind, you're partying, you're downtown, you're young kids, it's one of those things where you look back and you say, if I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but you can't change what has happened. And, I know they're in pain. Teresa, welcome back. Welcome in. Karen Lee. Karen Lee is another amazing advocate. She said, hello, Mom and Mini Momster. Carol May says, I really feel like they should have helped him out of the bar. He left intoxicated. He was too drunk to be in the bar. Why would they let him walk? Somebody should have called a taxi, or the bar alone should have called a taxi. Somebody should have called a taxi. I agree. But again, it's one of those things. No eyes. I love it. Hello, welcome in, No Eyes. Thank you for being here. Sending hugs to everyone. Gypsy Witch said, when my youngest son came home from work, I just hugged him. That's amazing. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for becoming a part of the community. Prime Calspec said, I haven't let my baby out of my sight all day. In these cases, they hit you hard. There's Modine back. Americans love their alcohol and opioids, but with that comes possibility of tragedy, and that's absolutely possible. Tragedies do happen.
You're always flying the risk when you're partying. I hate to be improper on panel, but excuse me for the expletive, but shit happens when you party naked.
Right. So Tony's replying to your street mentality there. Absolutely. And Vesper Martini says, congratulations on being sober.
Thank you.
Yanked my link down.
If anybody ever wants to reach out, I have no problem sitting down, and I'm not going to share my strength, experience, and hope on panel, but if you ever want to reach out to me, reach out to Mind of Monsters or reach out to me in the chat, and I will make my contact information available for you.
Yep. If you guys are in our Discord, you can always reach him in Discord too. Colin Cosley, I hope I didn't chop that up too bad. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. did this story get so much coverage because it was Nashville? Why doesn't every missing person get this much coverage? I
We were
wish I had an
earlier.
answer for that. I really wish I had an answer for that, because you can have 3 people come up missing the same day in different parts of just America, just speaking of America. And I don't quite understand what causes that one case to be a high profile case. A lot of these cases, I say it's got the meat and taters, and that's what they want. It's the meat and taters. So that's the case that everybody grabs, everybody starts running. But it almost seems like once social media grabs it,
I've never understood the whole social priority when it comes to missing people's cases. There shouldn't be any kind of everybody should have the same. That's no different than having equal rights. You should have the equal ability for having that same coverage. And I think that's a lot of
everybody matters. Everybody.
Doesn't matter who you are. If you're old,
absolutely,
young, if you're white, if you're black, if you're man, if you're woman, if you're somewhere caught in the middle of all of that, it doesn't make a difference. We all bleed the same. We're all human beings.
We all matter. All missing matter. Yeah. I agree. Tony says he grew up in Detroit, so he has a similar background himself.
What side of 8 Mile? I've never been to Detroit, but I've always wondered. What side of 8 Mile?
Papa was from Detroit.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's Motor City right there.
Farkey says congratulations on being sober. Keep up the great work. Modine is saying hello. Patriotism USA. Thank you for coming back. Thank you so much for everything and the coverage you did. I will definitely watch you all the time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys becoming a part of the community. We try to keep it classy, respectful, and no drama over here. They were probably just numb, zoned out. That's a situation is hard to know there. That's exactly right. Prime Cowspec says, so proud of you for being sober. I've seen how hard the battle can be. I'm thankful that you are still here and out of addiction. Me too.
Every day above ground's a blessing, and it's not even a matter of every day clean. It's every minute. You make a choice every minute. Rather this go out and maybe help somebody else. It's never too late to stop and put whatever you're doing down. There are a lot of different resources. There are a lot of different hotlines that you can call where you can be around people that are just like you. And we have availability to make those resources available on the Discord. You can also find them through Nightbot, I'm sure. If not, we can probably get that switched around to make sure it's out there. But yeah, thank you for it was a long, but it could have had just as easily been the addict that passed away yesterday. Could have been me. You know what I'm saying? Thank God I am alive today. Every day above ground, every minute, there's a choice you make. You make a choice every day, and even you make the choice to stop. Once you put that first one in you, it's hard to let go.
Sorry, one of the girls from work reached out to me.
You're fine. No one can save you from yourself. Do the best you can to take the best care of yourself. Always, and always take care of yourself. Don't forget. I mean, obviously, remember to take care of your responsibilities and the things around you. But don't forget that you cannot pour from an empty glass. That cup must be full, or at least have some kind of fruition to it to be able to pour into other people. His friend did walk him out and then back in.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing is that he walked down the stairs with him, according to Luke Bryan's footage.
I don't want to make a comment on that, but I just me, myself, and I, because these were college kids. I don't know what it's like down in Missouri. I don't know how long they've been partying, but you when you're hanging out and you're doing things, you don't split up. You don't
buddy
split up.
System.
This very reason. You don't split up for this very reason.
The buddy system.
And let this be another prime example to any tourist deciding to go to big cities like Nashville or like Chicago or anything of that in California. If you're planning tonight to go out and have fun, always have a plan B. Always make sure somebody knows.
Absolutely.
Take a friend, take a buddy, go get go get beers with a buddy. Don't go out and if your friends are willing enough to let you walk out and they're gonna go back in. I'm not that kind of guy that's gonna say, "Oh, that's not your friend," but they either were not in the right state of mind or they didn't have concern about what you were
I
doing.
think that they were just inebriated, and that's my personal
We're in the
opinion.
right
That's not me speaking facts. I think they were just college kids that were there having a good time and just were
all
inebriated.
class caught up between the music, the lights. It's adrenaline down there. It's hot. It's sweaty. There's cute chicks all over the place. There's lights,
And you're in Nashville, Tennessee.
You're sucked in, and it's immersive. You feel like you're one with the sidewalk, so to speak. It can really be a lot of fun, but it can be very dangerous too. And being in all it takes is crossing the wrong street and clipped by a car, or in the unfortunate case that this all took place.
Right. Unfortunately, he ended up in the river. Karen Lee says, at Modine, personal responsibility and care for other people, watching out for each other too. Absolutely. And speaking of Music City, guys, I want to share something I found on Twitter tonight. I'm going to bring up my screen share here. I want to share something I found tonight because you guys know if you're new here, just know and believe if you're on Twitter, follow me because I have Twitter issues. I am the Twitter queen. I love me some Twitter. I stay on Twitter. If I'm not in a chat, I'm probably hanging out somewhere on the Twitter streets, and that's the best way to get a hold of me.
That is a really good idea.
What?
Tony in chat, he just had a really good. I don't know if that exists, but if it doesn't, then it does need to exist because that is a great idea. He said, Tony's Place said there needs to be a 24/7 channel on cable, on television. I think it should be a national channel that's free. You can go to the Walmart and get one of those $20 AV receivers where you can watch TV for free. It should be something that's televised for free, not even cable, just public knowledge. It's not even just a radio station giving out descriptions of people, something that would be real. I'm not sure.
You talking about a missing channel?
Yeah, like
Elon
24/7.
Elon Musk. If you hear the sound of my voice, this is Sunshine, Mind the Monsters, the ones that harasses you constantly on Twitter. You got enough satellites up there, bub. You can give me one satellite to run missing people on. Those that are OGs here that have been around know that I am the one person that will actually tag Elon about once a month. It used to be more often than that, and say, hey, can I get a missing channel that runs 24/7? There used to be a couple of really good missing channels, and I don't know where they just dipped out. I do want to show this, guys. I found this earlier today, and it absolutely just made my heart smile, and I hope I can make it bigger.
I do not.
So this is Carly Pearson, I think's her name.
Elon, if you're seeing this, I want a Neuralink chip.
Oh,
she needs a satellite, and I need a Neuralink chip.
I just need just a piece of your satellite, bub. Just a piece of one to run missing people, man.
Just a quarter of it.
Thousands of missing people that, that one person sees their face could bring that person home to their family, no pun intended at all. If you're creeping in my bushes, which, I'm a little of nobody, but I am pretty known on Twitter. So I want to share this. Hopefully YouTube won't hit me for it, which, I'm not monetized, so they shouldn't hit me for it. But guys, I thought this was beautiful, and I really want to share this with you guys.
I do not feel like I can live in Nashville and be in the state of Missouri tonight and not say that we love you, Riley Strang. And I just want to say that I'm thinking of his family and I'm thinking of his friends and anybody in this room that knows him, and I want to dedicate this to them. I do not feel like I can live in Nashville.
First part of it, and then this is the second part. I thought that was absolutely beautiful of her to do. I really did, and I really wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope you
Is that
guys didn't
Fran?
mind me. Is that
Who is
who?
that? Who is that?
Her name is
I don't know. I don't know country stars that well. I know about a couple.
Carly Pierce.
Carly
And I actually
Pierce.
went and followed her tonight. She's Carly Pierce Hummingbird, available June 14th. Pre-order the album now. She's an artist. And I
Beautiful voice.
mean,
Beautiful voice.
she's posted 8 hours ago. Rest easy, Riley. I mean, you know, I've done creep through her stuff here. Followed her on Twitter. I mean, she's got a heck of a voice. And sorry for anybody that don't like country music, but I felt like I really wanted to share that with you guys, that, you know, everybody out there is,
Okay.
this kid has touched so many people.
Was that friend question, Miss Hippie Chick? Do we know if
Hang on, I'll get back over there in just a second. I want to repost her a couple of times so that way we can share this beautiful tribute with everybody that I can reach with it, because I forgot to retweet it earlier. I just found it like right before the live. Let me run through chat here. Tattooed Rebel, what is up? I believe, Farkey, if you want to, Rebel should be a Nightbot. If you drop an exclamation mark and the word Rebel, I think is what it is. I can double check the command. Much love to you, Mind of Monsters, and everyone in chat. Rebel does bonfire nights. His beautiful wife, Tattooed Angel, does karaoke nights. For those of y'all that have creeped my channel, I did a Kentucky Anthem and uploaded it on my channel one night. Let's see. I would call you Cab Karen. Oh, that's sweet. We all love Karen. If you guys don't know Karen, Karen Rotz is a rock star. There needs to be a 24/7. I agree. That's what I figured you guys were talking about. Everybody matters. See, Tattooed Rebel said we had a scare at our kids' school the other day, and only one little thing was said about it. That's terrible, dude. That's awful. You know, why is... Oh, my goodness. He said he's Detroit side. Other side of is Southfield.
Okay. That's cool.
Wow. See, this is why my stepdaughter, his daughter, has a phone. As young as she is, she has a phone that I pay for to make sure she has a phone on her. Let's see. Tony says life is too busy, but not too busy to help someone if it's carrying a bag. Absolutely. It's just like Jen last night. She helped that gentleman put his sleeping bag. Where are you going?
He was willing
my
to
panel
talk.
Guest left me.
He was giving his time out of his day to tell us what his side of things was going on, and there, you know, she was just trying to. No, and the thing is like, Jen particularly and pertaining, and I myself was like, being in Daytona kind of ruined me on that aspect. Yeah, there's a lot of homeless back in Nashville, but it's really painful to watch in Daytona. With it also tourist attraction, big city, tourist city, and people get drunk, get hurt all the time. You know,
fall in between the drawbridges.
It's almost to the same degree of pain down there as the treatment for the homeless community. It's not very all that. They have resources, but it's very limited, and it's not always the easiest to get into some of the solutions down there. I know that it has gotten a little bit difficult over the years, but there are still opportunities down there that you can use to change your life. But it's painful for me as an individual to go from one side of this country and another side of this country and imagine on all corners of this country that the epidemic that we currently have going on with homelessness in America is that it's not been taken care of. Not to draw away from what the live was discussing, it's kind of painful, you know. And every
You're
time
not drawn away from anything. This is barely alive. This is our mix-up mashup.
Too, dude, like you gotta understand, these are veterans, these are mothers, these are children, wives, husband, you know, business owners that have just fell on their butt, and it happens to anyone. It could happen to you. It's happened to me plenty of times, you know. Not saying you, I'm saying anybody watching, you know. You don't understand how much even just asking somebody how their day is, opening a door for them. You know, you see them drop their phone or they drop some money at the 7-Eleven, being that honest person, picking that 20 up off the ground and handing them back. You don't understand how much that'll make somebody's day, and it can change and direct a whole from them having a horrible day to it being the best day of their lives. You know, you never know how to affect somebody else.
Well, Becky said she's lurking in the bushes, loving this message. I am going to. I didn't mean to hit that. Let me pause that, because if I don't, it's going to start playing, and I don't want it playing right this second. That's for a few minutes down the way here. Let me pause it. So this, guys, this is like one of my favorite shorts. So I'm going to pull this up because a lot of you guys that were new last night, you know, and somebody said something about they like my lurking in the bushes. So this is a short that I made
for the lurkers.
It says lurking in the bushes. Yep, that's me.
I remember watching
lurking
this.
All up in your bushes.
I giggled.
I'll be all up in your bushes. Never know what you'll see. Oh, that's me on TMZ.
Yeah, I watched that one again tonight too. I watched it the day you did, but I watched it again tonight. I go back through and I've seen that too.
This is Jody's friend.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually Jody's friend. She sent that to me before it hit viral status. I had one in here that I was gonna share. Let me back out of it. So,
I wonder if anybody's taught. My thing is because Hippie Chick mentioned, it said it was mentioned that one friend that tried to leave with Riley was pulled back in by our staff because he had not paid his tab, and then Riley had walked off. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know.
I wish we had more information on that. And even if just an opinion from the friend that was, so we would know true or false. And there's so much conspiracy around that, and they may not be at ability to speak on those things without jeopardizing their own safety, freedom, or repercussions.
We've all had bad judgments. Learning from that, we're all lucky to be here. Unfortunately, it was tragic, and absolutely. Mecky, that's my Mecky. Katie's Crime Ghoul, welcome in. Says, hello, sunshine. I'm a mod on CJ's channel. I wanted to come in and say hi, sweetie. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you, CJ. You send CJ my love. Sorry I had to jump out earlier. Let's see. So on screen here, you guys heard us talk about the little chihuahua that would be upset.
Hey guys,
this is her.
Monster Sunshine here. So
well,
I can go grab my bean.
Here. This is the cutest video ever, guys. I hope y'all can see that.
She is my bean.
Are y'all pissed at me now? Huh? Are y'all pissed off at me?
Oh, is that when I clipped her nails?
Come here, give me a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So mad, dude. She hates.
She's like,
no
fuck
kisses
you,
for you. No kisses for the daddy. She was so upset.
We took
and then
her
those
from at home, but we took her to a nail tech one time. Tried to bite the nail tech. I don't believe she tried to bite her. I think she might have tried to nip at her, and the nail tech was being dramatic. But she can get pretty.
Probably tried to bite her.
She can be sassy too, so I wouldn't slide it past her.
Modine says even those that have the buddy system might not always follow it. In those times, nothing happens coincidence. Maybe think it won't happen to me, but in Riley's case, absolutely. Absolutely. And for my pit bull people, like I said, this is barely alive, so we're going to kind of mix it up so we don't get so heavy. But we are honoring Riley tonight in the live. But if you guys haven't seen my shorts, like I said last night, my shorts are like Skittles. You never know what you're going to get in my shorts. But this is the pitiful pit bull. Hopefully you guys can hear him.
There's Kobe.
Yeah, Emma's a Kobe. Listen to this.
He's your favorite? You want Twinkies? You want Twinkies?
Yeah. He's so goofy.
I'm gonna go get you Twinkies from the store for everybody on Twitter. Huh? Kobe. Kobe, are you sleeping? Kobe, you want Twinkies? Do you want Twinkies? Oh, him love.
He's a nut. He's a nut. That's my Bubba. That is my Bubba dog. He is something else, guys. He is something else. I think that was all the funny ones that I had were.
Retrieve my bean, and I was told to bring her back.
Oh, you tried. You
Just
tried.
Like this. Every time
Did
she
you
goes,
get her?
I got the bean.
I don't know why it won't let me do a different layout. Usually you can do like a different layout, but it's not letting me.
To add a bean. To add a bean. Add a baby. Guys,
That
we
a
got
rosy baby.
on my palm. She was this big. And my other half, she has, for a better lack of terms, she is well endowed in the upper section of her body, and she used to be a bean, and she would just lay right in there perfectly, like right in her cleavage, and she was this big. We had to get this little bell for her because of how small she was. We're both Calypso Clumbos, and we were terrified that we were going to step on her, so we wanted to be able to hear her. You know what I'm saying? And she, tough little dude, she throws herself off the bed and all kinds of crazy stuff. She's fearless, dude. You want down? You want to go back to the mom?
Yeah, you're not the mom, dude. Karen Lee, I shared her. It's a I think it was Carly Pearson. She an up and coming artist. It was just a beautiful tribute that she did to Riley. She lives in Nashville, where a lot of the country singers do, and she was actually in Missouri. Hippie Chick says it was mentioned that one of his friends tried to leave at the bar was pulled back staff. I haven't heard that. I've heard it, but I haven't heard it confirmed. I've heard a couple of different things about that.
But I wish
Trish said I don't do country music. I do country music, but I don't know her either. I think she's an up and coming artist because you see a lot of those on Twitter and social media. We were actually at the Hoodwill. Listen to me, the Goodwill on the other side of town. I call it the Hoodwill. And this girl was sitting out there with a guitar. Just it was beautiful. Carly Pierce. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, just I thought it was beautiful sentiment. Like I really did. I really did. Thank you, everything, for joining us tonight. Mind and Monsters, we are here for Riley. Prayers for him and his. Absolutely. Absolutely. We come here from magical Mecky too. We love Mecky. She's awesome. Green for Riley. Thanks for letting me stop in and say hi. Have a great night. You have a great night too, honey, if you're still here. Thank you so much for popping in. Oh, Tony and Mecky are at it again here. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Help when you're up. Hope comes back when you're down. Facts. Lighting the way. PJ, hi, darling. I hope you're doing well. PJ is an amazing advocate. If you guys are not subbed up to her channel, make sure you do go hit up PJ. She is a rock star. Absolutely a rock star. My bush lurking video would be a little different. Dude, we need to go Bigfoot hunting. We really do. Good to see you. I'm going to bed, just popping in. Well, thank you, honey, for stopping in. Mom and Mini Momster, you are the real MVPs. Thank you for what you do, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Without the community, I'd be sitting here looking at the screen, talking to myself.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I was just saying thank you to chat. Like, thank you guys by all means. It took a lot for me to come out of that comfort zone, and I'm just glad that you guys appreciate it.
Cheez-Its. Y'all, Cheez-Its. So I love Cheetos, but Cheez-Its, y'all know from being in this true crime community between Calavente, the escaped prisoners that had us all up till 5 o'clock in the morning and going to work on 3 hours of sleep, and Little Miss Thing that decided she was gonna have herself abducted on the side of the road. What?
Look at
what are
that.
You doing?
I was looking at the vein on my forehead.
Yeah, mine's under my hat.
Oh,
Well, in case you slip out on me, those things still apply. I might have missed something. Flaming Hots.
Boob out if needed.
No. Let's see. Tattooed Rebel is back. Hi, darling. I love PJ. She's awesome. I sent you a pic, Mom, of my 3 new wards dumped in the pack. 3 little girls. All right. Let me pull that up. Then I'll give that a second to load, and I'll finish up trying to get through comments here. Tony said that came out wrong. Never know what's going on to be in my shorts. Dude, I made this clip. I made this, I make graphics, guys. I make missing posters. I make graphics on thumbnails. And like I did a pair of shorts like on the old wooden style coat hanger, and it says check my shorts.
Dude, this guy's funny. That almost whatever. You never know what's going on in my shorts.
PJ lighting their way home. She is an amazing advocate. She says hello or hi, Mind of Monsters son. Hi. I love PJ. She rocks my socks off. Pibbles. Yes, it was your Pibbles. I was a Pibbles.
Pitiful Pibble. He's pitiful.
Yeah, he's Mecky's Pibbles. So that is a tiny little flea bag. That's what he calls all the dogs. So don't take it personal. He calls Frankie's dogs flea bags too. He calls Frankie the Canadian. Him and Frankie.
Oh, every time I'm in a phone call with Sush, I mean, he makes a comment about us cooking the dog eventually. So, I mean.
Okay, so Sushi is my adopted son. He's Japanese, right?
No, Sushi's Vietnamese. And if you actually stop in here tonight, and because he does bounce around our channels every now and then, if you see this, I love you, man. Yeah, but you know, if you know, you know. We both got that really twisted sense of humor, and you know, like you got that one friend, you know what I'm saying, that you guys can just sit there and talk about anything, and it could be some of the most gruesome, but not to be gruesome or cruel, but just to be talking about it and just like pick stuff apart and then laugh at each other.
They're like a married couple. Don't get it wrong.
Married couple, dude. Like we'll sit there and call each other stupid and all kinds of names in the book, and then 3 minutes later we're talking about some new development or breakthrough for the gaming industry or title, something going on. Like we're like this, but like he sees the world way different. He's Vietnamese. He's not Japanese. He's Vietnamese. His whole family's they're all old country.
It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke.
But the reason his name is they run a it's a I think where you got the whole Japanese idea is they run a Japanese sushi restaurant.
So now it's not inside. Welcome.
No, her she is Rosie. Her name is Rosie.
Her name is Rosie. Tony says killer.
Oh, she thinks she's got pit bull-itis, man. She thinks she's 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and don't let her slide.
Michigan has large Bigfoot viewings. You guys see? He is. God,
Afro man quote head when you said Michigan. Jesus.
I don't know if you guys can see him. I don't think y'all can see him, but I could get him down and show you guys. I guess I have a Bigfoot back here behind me. Here, I'll make myself big for a second.
You got one on your head.
So you see my Bigfoot right here? This is a Bigfoot, and he is on a piece of barnwood.
Oh,
the barnwood, my dad found this piece of barnwood, and it's angel wings. So I've been obsessed with Bigfoot since I was a little girl. So my dad took and carved me a Bigfoot and mounted him on top of the angel wings for Christmas. And he said that Bigfoot is my angel that takes care of my missing that are lost in the woods. So he made me a Bigfoot because that's what Grandpa feels like that Bigfoot does, is because, you know, sometimes we do have people that are missing in the woods for weeks, and they just, you know, they come up and they're around. I'm not saying it's Bigfoot or hairy men or, you know, feral people or whatever. Lighting the way home. PJ says, thank you for doing the search. FYI, I really thought that was awesome. When I did Harmony's search, I could stop crying on and off. Right. Girl, I was in tears today. I mean, y'all saw me last night. Y'all probably saw some of the funniest faces you'll ever see me make. Cause oh my goodness. You know, it's a Korean dog. They usually don't survive. Wow. You and Mini Monster is very appreciated for love and sharing Riley and his family. Thank you, Hippie Chick. You're awesome.
Family.
Tony's got Far Q over here rolling. Mickey said, I love people with navigatable rabbit holes. You can learn a lot. Dude, you gotta grab your flashlight and your boots, and we'll head down a rabbit hole. Missing 411 Dude, he is phenomenal. I am a big fan. Have been for many years. He has a good channel too.
I've been wanting to dig down, to be honest with you, not to draw off topic once again. Like, I watched a really interesting movie with Jen the other night, and like, I really want, like, I'm sure this man's probably. Then again, I don't know. Like, oh, dude, I want to talk to this guy so bad and just kind of like get his perspective of what went on in 1988 so bad. So
Yeah. We need to talk about that. I really need to.
I can't remember her name. I can't remember the FBI investigator's name. Like, I have the world's worst memory, but it was such a good movie. I think it was called Above Suspicion. It's about a criminal informant that was working with the FBI back in 1988 in Pikeville, Kentucky. It's right here in Kentucky. Um, and it's 4 hours away from here. And even if it's just to stop in, sit down, and have a conversation with the man, like, he was in the movie. They didn't portray him as the biggest, greatest person in the world, but I don't care what kind of person he is, you know. I just want his perspective on what he saw and what he witnessed back then. I thought it was just
Right.
That is a really intense case, and there was a lot of different, like, it was just so, and the way the movie, it just, but it's all based on a true story. And it just, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it or doesn't know about the case, but the movie is called Above Suspicion. It was about a criminal informant that was working with an FBI agent back in the 80s. I think his name was Mark something. And she had kids. Apparently, she was pregnant, and some things happened, and she was madly in love with this man. He was using her, and quote unquote things led. And if you know about the case that I'm talking about, then it proceedingly had gotten worse. That movie goes on, and it's insanity. It's just pure insanity. It was really good, and it was really intense, and it takes a lot of me to be able to sit down, because I watch crime with her all the time, and it took a lot. It just, like, I could not step away from it. I would love to drive 4 hours and sit down and just talk to him.
They want to know what case it is. Does the case have like a name? A lot of times these cases get a title put on them.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh jeez, I almost flipped into.
Oh, technical difficulties. Hey, you guys ought to be proud of me. I haven't muted myself once this whole live. Lighting their way home, so doing searches and putting up flyers can be emotional. I've done it. Sending hugs to you guys. Thank you so much, honey. All hugs are appreciated. All hugs, and all hugs to chat. Becky says,
Mark
I am Mexican. I believe in lechuza. Am I saying that right, Mickey? And chupacabra.
Of Susan Smith and Mark Putnam of 1988. He was an FBI agent, brand new FBI agent. He went from being a file clerk to lead investigator, lead role, like star of the show out in Pikeville, like small town, probably no more than maybe 500 people kind of situation.
Pikeville, Kentucky.
City boy in the middle of the sticks, and it just, like, it really gives you the honestly, you want my honest opinion, it's no different than being back home.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, no different. Good old country boys, just
we call that the good old boy law.
Yeah, they're just good old country boy. There's this particular bandit in the movie. Actually, Susie's messaging me right now. I'll message him back in a minute. But there's this bandit in the movie, right?
He's robbing. Jump in live.
He's at work. He's probably closing work out right now. They don't close till 12. No. What was I saying? There's this bank robber when the movie first starts, right? There's this bank robber, and they're trying to find him and whatnot. God, what was I even saying? It's just, there's a lot going on in that movie. It's just that good.
We need to do a whole live about that. Like, we'll dig and we'll drop some stuff in Discord.
We could even rent the movie and sit down and watch it with it was just really good, dude. And I just
Mecky does streaming parties on Discord, and we watch movies so we don't get copyrighted on YouTube. So that might be a good movie to put on the list, Mecky, if you're still in here, if you catch Replay Crew.
But what was I saying about the bank rob? Oh God, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, the good old boys. So like good old boys are. He's just a good old bandit. You know what I'm saying? He was driving around a stolen truck with no plates, right, to rob these banks. He had done turned over like 18, 20 something banks in this small area, and only had made $21,000. That's how poor Pikeville was back in the 80s. He only made 21 grand from it, and that was like 40% below than the national. The woman in the movie, she quotes the actual national, like the average of what the takings would be if you were to successfully pull something like that off on a consecutive basis. And as many banks as he robbed and the money he made just did not add up. Like he was putting in too much overtime and not getting enough payout.
Right, it's not coming back.
Too much overtime, not getting enough payout. But anyway, they had a stone. I think it was a red Chevy. It was a red Chevy truck. It looked like an old C10, and they're driving down this back road and chasing this guy with these shotgun, and he jumps out at the owner's property that owns the truck and takes off. He's like, "Where's the city slicker FBI agent?" He's like, "Where'd he go?" He's like, "Oh, these just some good old boy country bandits. They're just returning the vehicle back to its rightful owner." You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And it's
Lord.
just like, oh my God, it's like,
yeah, we should probably watch that.
something that would happen in Paducah, no doubt. Like, I could definitely see someone back home turning over a gas station or liquor store or something, and then taking the vehicle that they stole back to the house that they stole it from.
We just borrowed it.
You know,
just borrowed it. It's fine.
for a couple.
Lighting the way home, PJ says you want a huge rabbit hole case, Mara Murray. Yeah, I need to get into that now that Barley's been found. I'm going to start focusing on that. I had somebody reach out to me about another advocate reached out to me, and I reached out to PJ, and she is very knowledgeable and has a lot of really good content on her channel. Mara Murray is a stash.
The rabbit hole for that movie, it's pretty interesting. It's just like there's two different narratives to how that ended, by the way. So there's two different narratives to how it's been conspirized and as to what he said it's happened, so it's very, I seriously think we need to check it out sometime. It's a really good movie.
I think you said Susan Smith. Didn't you say Susan Smith? I think I've heard that name.
Susan Smith, her name is Susan Smith, and his name was Mark Putnam. It was a love-based, it was like a give and take relationship. She fell mad from the time that she saw him in the movie. They presented as she was like love at first sight kind of situation. And he went about using her as a tool. And I'm sure there was some concern or care there for her. I'm sure just in all degree, I'm sure there was some kind of love or care or concern there, but he did quite frankly use her as an asset. And then when she, for a better lack of word, pissed him off, it completely screwed her whole life up. And she, and just the whole movie is just, it's disgusting. It really shows a disgusting side of our government, and not being that kind of way. I'm not saying that everybody wearing a badge is raw. It really shows.
We back the blue when they deserve it.
Back
when
then,
they do their damn jobs.
And if it was that bad back then, think about how bad it is today.
Corruption is born.
Like that was pure evil back then, and it just gets worse with time.
Right. Lighting the way home, PJ says, yes, Mickey, I play basketball with her. That's what I'm saying is PJ has some amazing content. We do have a Discord. We absolutely do have a Discord. I don't have it up right now.
I can try to drop a, oh wait, I've got the, do I have to connect my YouTube account to comment? I do.
I can grab it. Oh, where'd he go? He left us. He done yeeted himself off panel, y'all. He yeeted, he's gone. We'll go through comments. Let's see. Wind River, Frost and Ground, great crime movies. You yeeted yourself.
My bad. I'm sorry, I killed myself on stream. My bad. Oops. I was trying to set up so I could reply. I was going to post the Discord link in chat, but I'm sure we can go back and put it in the bio or add it to the channel.
I can put it in the description, but I mean, I've got Discord right here. I'm on the laptop, so I'm still learning how to use the Mac, so I don't use it to stream yet because I don't want to mess up my stream too bad. So there's the Discord link, guys.
Kai tonight. It was so. I got to talk to the boy tonight, and he just. He was so bummed out.
Oh no.
So, he was having issues with one of his games on iPhone. He couldn't install a game on his phone, and it just it tore him up because I told him not to update the iPhone that I gave him because it was special. It was a special kind of iPhone. For better lack of terms, it had it was a checkmate device. And he updated it, kids being kids, it happens. But he was so bummed out, and I'm even more bummed out because I couldn't help him do what he was wanting to do because he accidentally updated his phone. So now
he is his father's child.
I gotta sit there and teach him how to do it a completely different way.
Look at the babies. These are Far's babies that she rescued. Look at them. Oh, Australian babies.
Look at all that teriyaki chicken.
Ah, sweet babies. Those are the sweetest babies. I'm not sure what else is in there. I haven't checked my messages, so I don't want to put her out like that. Not sure.
No, that's a different Susan. I think it's a different Susan Smith, Miss.
Yeah, no, I've lost my train of thought. So the Susan Smith that I thought the reason why that name is so familiar to us. Look, I pulled it up on Twitter, guys. That is because we know that name here in the true crime community, and I'm going to show you why we know that name. We know Susan Smith because Susan Smith is the lady that is up for parole in South Carolina for intentionally drowning her babies to catch a man. So that's why, see these cute little boys? That is why her name jingled something in my brain and probably half of the chat. Justin Timberlake. Okay. Lighting the Way Home said, at Mind of Monsters, you could get lost in the mysterious possible serial killer in New England. You know what? I have actually done some research on that. I was working with a creator that we don't speak of here, and we'd actually done a lot of looking into that. And it's something that's getting swept under the rug too. Lighting the Way Home. Hippie Chick says, Lighting the Way Home. I've been in a Mar Murray case. It's a huge rabbit hole. I will get him to tell you again, and we'll figure that out. Hippie Chick, PJ says, Hippie Chick, I have so much notes on her case. Jules' new podcast is very educational. I seriously need to get focusing on that too. I think I've heard the name, although it's a pretty generic name. Yeah, so I think that's the one that we're all thinking from. Because I think I'm Homefront Beyond the Pines. I don't know. I'll ask him when he gets back in here what the name of the movie was. I'm not sure where he went. Yeah, PJ has a whole playlist on her channel. Good Bank is Finding Steve McQueen. Great movie, true story. All right. Susan Smith is the woman that drowned her two boys, Michael and Alexander, in South Carolina Lake. Right. Yeah. And she's up for parole. Oh. I knew that name triggered something in my brain. I was like, Susan Smith, wait a minute. Going through my files in my head. Yeah. Check out that. And there's the Discord link, guys. It's an open Discord. You're welcome to come in. A lot about which ones. The serial killers are more serial killer ones. We did, like, we looked into that. Yeah, they are the cutest. I'm not sure. Far, are they dingo? She says she wishes, so I'm assuming they're not dingoes. Sad face. Frozen Ground is a good movie. It's about the baker that was a serial killer. It's based on a real story. Okay, so now I got to put that on my list. Where's my pen? So we're going to put that on the list. Frozen Ground. Because we're all the time looking for Mr. Sunshine. He is turned into a true crime fanatic as well. Right. She murdered them in 1994 and is eligible for parole November 2024. Yeah, I remember when that happened. So sad. Dude, I was living in 94. I was living in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And I remember hearing about that. You need puppy breath. Aw. Their names are Tilly, Allie Mae, and Beth. I love it. I'd buy it in a jar if I could. Mr. Sunshine is crazy about puppy breath, too. I'm sure Yankee Candle has it. Y'all are too much. Y'all are too much. Mickey said if I could, I would. I need forever homes, but for all four, I'm fostering it. Yeah, you got enough with the cats, woman. MTB, welcome in again. Thank you so much for popping back in, coming in and say thanks for everything you guys did for Riley. You're more than welcome. It is our honor, honey. Thank you for popping back in. Definitely. Thank you so much. Sorry, I blab, but that case your son's talking about sounds very no. Hey, like I told him, I think we should do a live, like do like a watch party. Get Mickey to set us up with the watch party. And John Cusack. I don't know. Frozen Ground is crimes of real life. Alaskan serial killer Robert Hansen. Yes. Vesper Martini is Vesper Martini. Sorry guys, I can't talk tonight. Yes, we like Vesper. They're always welcome. Yeah, everyone is welcome. We love it, love it. John Cusack and Nicolas Cage. Does Mickey provide refreshments? What I would like to have, if we're going to talk about refreshments,
Sorry about that, guys.
you're good. I want two things. I need meat pies from Australia, from far.
Magpies?
And I need me
like the bird?
No, meat pies. But they have magpies too. Meat pies. Australian meat pies. Your mother could eat her weight in them. And
I just want to go to Brazil and meet my buddy Gabriel so we can ride mopeds.
I need a gordita. I need a real gordita, like from a taco truck in the middle of Cruces. I need a real gordita, like one of those big.
If you guys ever see this, shout out to Gabriel, shout out to Virgil, shout out to Litton, shout out to everybody that if you know my face, you know my voice, you know who I am, then just by the chance, I've had you guys kind of stop in on the channel prior. If you ever do get the chance to see this, hey guys, I love you.
Hey, they want to know the name of that movie. You're gonna have to get the name of that movie.
It was Above Suspicion.
Above Suspicion. I'll put it on my notepad. We've got some. You're gonna have to go back and replay crew the chat because they're dropping some good movies in here. I got Frozen Ground.
Oh, I'll start taking screenshots. I gotta message Shoosh back real quick.
Okay. I gotta provide my own. So shall the audience.
I don't know where I left off. I see dingoes being talked about. There's the Discord. That's where I remember. Aren't they the cutest? Dingoes. Tony, I wish. Frozen Ground is serial murder. Ooh, Jen would probably love that one. Jen loves her serial killers.
Yeah. I have serial killers issues too.
Let's see here. What do you got here? Thank you for all being here. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Nightbot.
I love them, FarQ. I love meat pies. Oh. Are called pasties. I can make them with. Oh man, we're coming to Tony's place.
Oh yeah. Lighting
I'll
their
bring
way
coffee.
Yeah, sorry, I ramble and I blab a lot too. My brain will go off left field. You'll see me lose a train of thought by all means. Like I'll sit there, I'll go, what was I just saying? And then it'll pop me back in the head.
I think she was asking about something.
She said that case the case your son is talking about sounds really interesting. Yes, it was very. It was like it was. It was.
It's out of
Being,
Pikeville,
being in a
Kentucky.
good book. You know how you're in a good book and you just can't like stop turning the pages. Like I could not turn my head away. I actually had to go pick up a friend 15 minutes before the movie got over with. And when I got back to the house, I made my other half rewind the last 15 minutes so I could finish the movie. Because like I wasn't going to leave it on that. Like normally I will just step out. Oh, I'm I'm not big on movie, but dude, I had to finish that.
Yeah, she was telling me that you were hooked on it. Yeah.
Dude, it was
I think we were talking
the
about going to
last time
Nashville.
the last time I got hooked to a good TV show or a movie or anything, it was actually really because we're on the movie of TV shows and stuff. And normally I don't watch TV. You know how I am. I sit there, I'll teach myself stuff all day, or I'll tinker with my computers and whatnot. There was another good movie. I think I told you and Craig about it, but it's I don't know about how appropriate it would be watching it in the Discord. There's a lot of anyway.
On Kick, we watched I Spit on Your Grave because I was in a live one night and Publicly Buzzed. Dan,
Did you
he
ever
was
get the chance to watch A Handmaid's Tale?
I don't think I've watched that either yet.
Has anybody in chat had the opportunity to watch A Handmaid's Tale?
I'm making notes over here.
The frozen ground based crimes of the real life Alaskan serial killer to Robert Hansen. Ooh, I bet that's another good one.
Ooh, Griselda, Great Mind miniseries about the godmother of cocaine.
Godmother of Cocaine.
Laura D, hello, welcome back.
Wait, hold on.
Laura
Godmother
DL.
of Cocaine. We watched another show last night about a chick who was murdered that was selling coke to Saturday Night Live members. All kinds of different. That was another interesting case too. I can't remember. Hold on.
He's going to be a true crime buff before it's over with. And she says that PJ says she's heard it.
About the cocaine dealer.
I need to watch that now. I'm putting it on my list. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Those movies are He was like, we need something to watch. And I'm like, yeah, here, watch this. You want something weird, gruesome, and about as gruesome as you can get? Watch this. He was like, I can't play that on YouTube. Yeah, he's his mother's child, Tony. He's already a true crime buff. He's between him being his mother's child and then the rock star Jen. She's a big true crime buff too. So we're all kind of a big true crime family. So it really meant a lot to me to have them boots on the ground last night for Riley, and it meant a lot to the two of them.
So can you find me the name?
It really did to be able to be, a part of something bigger and to be a voice for the voiceless. See, I don't watch too many true crime, though I watch too many true crime, even though I don't like true crime, right? I feel you. It's like Killshot was saying about true crime creators the other night. And, I'll see. If I'm talking to somebody and I'll give you guys an example. So we were at the pet store. I have a huge fish tank. You guys, if you check out my shorts, I've got a couple of videos of my fish tank. So I have a massive fish tank. And I'd won 3 fish at the fair, at the carnival, throwing the little plastic balls into the fish bowls. And I played baseball for many, many years. So I'm a beast when it comes to anything with the ball. So I won 3 fish. Well, I didn't think about quarantining them. So I bring them home, put them on my 55-gallon tank full of my tropical fish. And we had an ick breakout. So I'm at the pet store one night and this girl's like, oh, I'm hooked on YouTube.
Another good one that we watched last night, it was called Homicide New York. That's the one with the chick that she used to deal drugs to the crew members of Saturday Night Live and different high-end, like if you didn't have business there, you weren't getting upstairs kind of stuff. It was called Homicides of New York, I think it was, or whatever I just said a second ago. I don't even know. Oops. Sorry. But it talks about homicide cases that stuck with New York cops that have just haunted them over the years. No, but I wanted to talk to you about A Handmaid's Tale. Sorry. That was good. I don't know if anybody in the chat, because I know I asked a second ago.
PJ said she's seen it.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me.
I think it was PJ.
Meat pies. Griselda, the great grandmother of cocaine. Hi Laura. Spit on your grave. Yeah, I can't watch that. That's just it's too much for me, man. It's just too much for me, man. That's almost like The Last House on the Left. When they put that guy's head in the microwave, it's too much for me, man. It's way too much for me.
Just let you know, people are labeling the missing as true crime. It is not until it ends up being a crime that's actually facts.
Oh,
that's
PJ,
facts. I'm not
is
true
PJ
crime.
lighting their way home? Is that PJ?
Yeah, that's PJ.
PJ, yeah, the whole Handmaid series was. I sat there and watched that with my other half. You have to tell Momsters here to watch. Like, she has to watch. Like, it doesn't just need to be my word. It needs to be somebody else's word in chat, because it was really good. As disgusting as it was, I think personally, 90% of American U.S. males need to watch that show. Need to watch it and pay attention, because it is that disturbing. And in my mind, that is exactly how Nazi Germany was ran, and that is exactly how it can happen over here. Play by play, book by book. Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Mayday, mayday.
No, she'll know what I mean
says,
by mayday.
who was in The Handmaid's Tale?
If it ever comes to a day like that, I'll be mayday. Call for me.
Okay.
I have no problem. Me and my other half, we already made the promise. We pinky promised on it. We have no problem being mayday, by all means. I will put my
PJ
life
made
on the
a good
line for
point
those women and
here.
children.
I'm not a true crime creator. I don't even think it might be in my title, but no, I don't put myself in that category, because
oh no, I'm smoking.
I'm missing. You're fine. I'm a missing advocate, and generally, if people ask me, what do you do? That's what I do. I'm a missing advocate. We put their names out there. We put their faces out there. We tell their stories. That's just that's who we are, and I love my community. And Mecky, I think I came past your comment here. It says, yes, Mom, honestly, can't thank you guys enough for doing that, going out to Nashville and the Flowers for Madeline. Hey, it was my honor. It's absolutely my honor to be able to do this and, be a voice for the voiceless and make sure we put their names and their faces out there in a positive light. Because when we do this, what we do in this community, we see so much darkness that we have to bring some light to it. We have to. We honestly have to. I know many of you guys have probably seen this, but I am going to go ahead and I'm going to play.
Tony had a question. Who is in A Handmaid's Tale? I cannot remember her name. It's this blonde chick and this really thicker gentleman. Cannot remember their names. I'm the worst with names. I can do faces all day, but I cannot do names. But it was a really good movie.
It gets it honest.
Yeah, really good TV show. Really good TV show. And yeah, Lighting and PJ. Yeah, it was very disturbing, very graphic, really pushing the border and line of things, and it just showed how real things can get quick.
Right.
And
mental health is other point. Yeah, and that's me. I do a lot. Anything that's bringing the lightness, and that's what you guys see on my bottom, seeking the light in the darkness. That's what I do. PJ says, I've labeled myself as an awareness channel because I do mental health, and other subjects are important to the community. Facts. And Tony says that he cracks jokes because it breaks up the misery, and we love you for it, Tony. So guys, I'm going to make a quick pot of coffee, and we are going to pull up the where they recovered Riley's body from the Cumberland today. Some people may have not have seen it. I know a lot of you probably have.
And before
this morning, we have a unfortunate update for you on the Riley stream.
What is it?
Sorry, there was lag between the stream. I was just going to say, after we watch this, I'm being pulled away at the moment.
Okay.
Ow. if you're still live later on, or if you want to jump into another live later on, then by all means. Or we could definitely go about doing. I really want to try the watch party thing. That would seem like a really cool idea. Especially,
Okay.
are you hosting it on Kick?
No, Mecky does watch parties in Discord. We'll have to get with Mecky in Discord and figure out a time when she, because Mecky stays busy. Find out a time when she wants to set one up, and Mecky will hook us up with a watch party. And I'm not usually I try to run the lives between 2 and 4 hours. So I'm just gonna run these 2 clips and then probably head out for the evening
Yeah,
because I know
that. I was gonna hang
I'm
around for
Eastern
these last
Standard
couple
Time.
clips.
So all right, so I'm gonna play this first clip here. This is earlier today when they recovered, well, a few hours after they recovered Riley.
This morning we have a unfortunate update for you on the Riley Strange search. Chief John Drake, Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, will be speaking with you. Chief Drake.
Thank you, Don. And, good morning, everyone. This morning around 7:28 a.m., we received a call from a worker on 61st Avenue at a company that adjoins the Cumberland River that had been searching for anything that would pop up on the river, especially looking for a Raleigh strain if he would surface here. As they were removing an object from the river, they noticed what appeared to be Raleigh strain pop up. The fire department was called in, retrieved the body from the river. The medical examiner's office reviewed the body, and we confirmed that it is Raleigh strain. The family has been contacted. There are no signs of foul play at this time, according to the examination here at the riverbank. Mr. Strain still had the shirt on that he was wearing, still had the watch, and other identifying factors that helped us identify who he is. I want to say to the family, my heart and prayers go out to you all for this very unfortunate and tragic incident. I also want to say thank you to the Nashville community and the outpouring community of the outpouring support from the community in trying to help us locate Mr. Strain. I also want to say thank you to our USAR team and to the fire department and OEM and TWRA and everyone else, and including the media, for everything that you've done, for the countless tips that came in. We received nearly 200 tips as of yesterday that we were vetting out. So at this time, the family's been notified. There will be an autopsy more than likely sometime today, and we'll have a little bit further from that point. So thank you.
Chief, can you tell us, is there any other additional evidence that points you to the theory that it seems like you've been going after for a while now? It's just that he fell into the river, accidentally?
Yeah, there's no other evidence that suggests anything other than we have reports that normally under these circumstances,
That's awesome.
with his height and weight,
That's awesome.
that he
I don't
could
know
have
if you saw what
surfaced between
PJ just put in
14
chat.
and 20 days.
Awesome.
This is the
I'm on a different
14th day, so we were really expecting anytime soon to
We're talking
find
about
it.
earlier.
In fact, our search teams was going to put in the water here this morning and then search from this point further down. So we were in the right spot. It's just unfortunate, but there's nothing to suggest anything other than any foul play at all.
You said that these were crews that were actually looking for him that found him?
Yes, that's so the workers typically on the river, whether it's barge companies, concrete companies, other businesses that actually are on the river, and they look routinely. It's happened countless times before. And as they moved, I believe, a barge, and don't quote me on that, they removed something from the river, and as they moved it, they noticed Mr. Strain, so and called it in.
Typically work on the water. They weren't necessarily search crews.
Right, yeah.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. So that was a very brief press conference by Tennessee Metro Nashville police out of Tennessee right there, as they provided an update and confirmed that they have in fact found the body of Riley Strain along the Cumberland River in Nashville. The medical examiner saying that there was no sign of foul play. And again, Riley Strain had been missing since earlier this month as he was visiting Nashville with his fraternity brothers. So again, this is the tweet we did want to share with you from Nashville police, saying that the body of Riley Strain was recovered from the Cumberland River in West Nashville this morning, approximately 8 miles from downtown. No foul play related trauma was observed. An autopsy is pending. And you're taking a live look. This is an area along the Cumberland River. This is where that press conference happened just moments ago. And the police just reiterating very briefly some facts that they wanted to share, that there was earlier this morning, a crew was along the Cumberland River. They were removing an object from the river, and that is when one of the crew members noticed a body. That's when they called the fire department. The fire department, they retrieved the body from the river, and they did confirm, in fact, that was the body of Riley Strain. We heard from the police chief saying that Riley Strain was still wearing the shirt, the watch, and other identifying factors. But again, they have notified the family. No signs of foul play. That is according to the medical examiner. And again, we are continuing to follow this breaking story because, again, police in Tennessee have been searching for the University of Missouri student for several weeks after he was last seen by friends at a Nashville bar in Nashville. And we do want to play some of that surveillance video for you because, again, this was some of that video right there of a police officer who was just walking along the river. And again, that is a photo of Riley Strain right there. But again, this is some surveillance video that Nashville police had shared with us. In the background, that is Riley Strain as he is walking down the sidewalk. He stops, he kind of stumbles and walks in another direction before turning back around. And again, this is some surveillance video and body cam video that police had been sharing with the public as they continued to search for him. But again, just a short time ago, breaking news, police saying that they did in fact recover the body of 22-year-old Riley Strain from the Cumberland River. They say that no foul play was observed. An autopsy is pending.
Okay, so just to kind of back up a little bit, PJ said in chat that the Cajun Navy is going to help with Sebastian's case as well. I know me and you talked about that a little bit earlier, and we also kind of talked about the publicity of different cases and how they need to be equal. I don't understand why in out of state. And once again, this is like, I'm guessing would be Nashville's tourist pride. Their pride for tourists.
Right, but Sebastian's missing out of Hendersonville.
Yeah,
Hendersonville's where they live. All the country stars.
That's a native of Tennessee, and I'm not understanding why. I mean, like, yeah, I can understand how cases get, like, there's so much going on in the media, how things get buried, but it's just as important as Riley. And this isn't just yes, Riley's 20, but this is also yet again another young man. This is a 15-year-old man, you know, from what I understand. That is just, his life is just as much as important. And yeah, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I don't think the police would have searched as aggressively had it have been a local, a native, someone who was there.
We see that often.
And that
Laura DL
case, I'm just saying in my personal opinion, just from speculation, my personal speculation, it's not factual based, but I feel at least in myself, as with this being an out of state situation, we had out of state tourists that fell in. The level of aggressiveness towards finding him was much higher than what local cases would have been, and that's not fair by any means, but that is how things unfortunately seem to have worked and rolled and have been so far.
Until it has meat and taters, they don't want to cover it. It's like Michaela Standridge. I screamed her name at the rooftops, and one little small local news station covered her. And I had to practically beg the sheriff to put her flyer out, put a statement out about her. Laura D said, I am glad that last night you reminded everyone that the subject of Barley's shirt was a rumor and had not been brought up by the police. He was wearing his shirt.
Yeah,
So
he was
it
wearing
was a
mouth.
rumor. That is why it is so important not to spread misinformation, not to spread rumor as facts. It's also a very popular shirt in Nashville, Garth Brooks. So there were probably many floating around. Absolutely.
And this rumor had started, from what I understand, a week after Riley, somewhere around a week after Riley had went missing, and that's that some guy had picked up the shirt and wiped the vomit off of it and threw it over his. I honestly look,
Yeah, and
man,
it was put on mainstream media that happened. It was put on mainstream. Like, that's what blew my mind.
So, and I understand that a lot of people don't have borders or boundaries, or when you're that low down on the ladder, and I hate to put it like that, and you're in that position of life, and you've been kicked down that far. Yeah, a fresh set of clothes is always nice, but I honestly don't see another person picking up a shirt with wet vomit on. I don't care how unfortunate you are. Why would you put on a wet shirt, much less something that has somebody else's vomit on it?
Another thought that Tony had about the shirt rumor
really
was that maybe a
possible that-
tourist thought Riley was a homeless person. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff that gets put out there, it just, yeah, I didn't either. And a lot of people, they were like, well, you know, it was on News Nation, and much respect for News Nation most of the time, but they get things wrong too. Mainstream media gets stuff wrong too. And you can't just jump on somebody because they called in and said, hey, I'm a local, I got information. You know, vet these people before you let them on national TV. Modine said the police put out, they expected to find the body could float to the surface between 14 and 20 days if he was in the water.
We would definitely, PJ, we would definitely get a whole lot more. I feel like we would get if not bring home the bodies, bring home the still living and breathing. If every case got the same level of attention, not just, I mean, like, from what I understand, this has become a national, kind of more so on the eastern coast, but I don't know how far west, but this has become a big thing on this side of the, just within these last two. If it would have gotten this, if every case would get the same level of attention, we would have a lot more families that are able to get rest at night.
So many. That's what I'm saying is, and thank goodness for those of us that do have, our platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Kick, wherever you're at, and that we do put out these faces and names. And that, I mean, there's a lot of us in our community and the missing community that this is all we do. Some of us are like myself, works 40 hours a week or 40 plus a week, but we're still putting out faces and still putting out names. And this is, still going boots on the ground and doing anything we can for these cases that don't get attention. Sebastian Rogers, that is a heartbreaking case. Vern actually has a billboard up. If you guys are on Twitter, you can hit up Vern. If you would like to donate to the board, I can give you information on how to get a hold of Vern. And he, if you want to donate to Sebastian's billboard, he actually has a billboard up for Sebastian. You guys know I don't take any donations here on the channel, but I do donate towards the missing. And I donated to his billboard and another girl that's missing out of Tennessee. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane how many are missing. And Tony says the case of president. Right.
I definitely agree with you there, Tony. The only time another case should precede priority is whenever somebody's life is in immediate danger. And that being the still knife that cuts down the middle of the butter. Is like, it's unfortunately not that way, but I wish there was a way to. I seriously feel like different cities and different metropolitans don't hold up to the same standards as others. It's nice to know that they did find him and recover him after a 2-week time frame, but had something had been done quicker, outside of, and yes, Nashville's a big city. There's a lot going on. It never ceases to fail to amaze me how certain cases get precedence over other cases, and I definitely agree with you. Unless somebody is an immediate president, then all cases should get the same equal treatment.
Yep, I agree. We're gonna share. There's Sebastian's face. You guys see this kid? He's missing. He's 15 years old. He's high functioning autistic, missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee.
This is the 15, and this is
This is Sebastian. Yep. Was looking for the billboard. My notifications are like insane on here. Let me see.
I think that the city council in Nashville ought to be filled to capacity with people demanding an ordinance that bars put out Ubers when they are kicked out for being inebriated.
Safe ride.
Yeah, safe ride. From what I understand, Pygmy and the M are Pygmy and the M. They're both working on a petition for safe ride.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we need to create it. I need to put it out there. I haven't.
I'm gonna call her the M.
It yet.
She's the M.
Haven't created it. Let's see. Here we go. This is Sebastian's billboard that Vern has created and has up. There is actually 2 of them that are running. These are the blip billboards, guys. And also on a billboard, let's get back over here. Holland Snap is another one that's missing that Vern has a billboard up for. I think hers might have been before.
Driving on the strip. What strip, Tony?
Yeah, here's Holland. She's missing too, guys. That's a heartbreaking story. Steve's working on that case. It's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. I'll go through comments real quick. Laura D said, I think in the city council in Nashville ought to be filled to capacity with people demanding ordinance to be put in bars, Ubers, kicking out. Yeah, right. Something needs to be done and put up a damn fence.
Any transit services are downtown. Nashville could definitely throw a couple dollar bills into Broadway, a safe ride transit service to get people at least to a designated location to where they're somewhere safe and can be picked up by their loved ones or by a friend, or be able to find a way home. If not, take them directly home at some kind of discounted cost, or if not, because you're going to Broadway, you're not spending $5, you're spending money. You know what I'm saying? You're already paying into the city. The city can pay back. I think that's honestly what needs to happen as an added precautionary.
So PJ says it scares her that the Cajun Navy's going there. I kind of agree with you, but on the other hand, Old Hickory Lake is 7 miles from Sebastian's home, and he's known to like fishing. And I mean, he can tell you that we've been fishing on Old Hickory Lake. When they were kids, that's where we took them to swim in the summertime. All summer long was Old Hickory Lake. If you guys have seen the music video, Chicken Fried, I think it's Chicken Fried. The Zach Brown band, I think it's Chicken Fried. The kids were almost in that video, but their dad did not want them to be in the video, so they didn't get to be in the video. And also, we were down there whenever they filmed Pontoon. In a pontoon. Sorry for my singing, guys. The Cajun Navy are an amazing nonprofit organization that searches for missing people. They helped with Katrina, I believe, the hurricane. They're based out of Louisiana. They don't allow diving on the strip anymore, do they? I'm not sure, Tony. I missed something. Driving on the strip?
Oh, you can drive on Broadway? Yeah, you can drive on Broadway.
Yeah, you can drive on downtown. Absolutely.
Broadway. I got to drive down Broadway yesterday, bub.
See, Tony's place said, Vesper Martini said, Tony's place, I was surprised. Also, I was expecting media outlets following the police when they showed up where the barge was and are filming. Right. Yeah. Broadway. Yeah, you can drive down Broadway. Yes, they did. They found him today. It's heartbreaking. I do too. I want that kid found. And while we're on the subject of true crime creators and drama creators and crime creators, you guys should be ashamed of yourself for what you're trying to do to that baby's case. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I know y'all lurk in the bushes. Let's see. He said, let's say Riley did get a ride to the hotel. They think he would have stayed there. I don't know.
It's really hard to say. Maybe he would have been called out back by his friends. Maybe they would have came up to the room. It's really hard to say, man. I would hope that in a parallel universe or an alternate reality that he would be on his way home, if not already home, and pursuing his career.
Yeah, I agree with this comment. They don't pass laws to have bars get you in an Uber or a cab because the Uber shows up, the patron doesn't want to get in, can't be found, so the Uber keeps showing up, wasting time. They will stop. And yeah, that's a good point too.
Uber pay. What I want to pull out of that is I used to do customer service for Uber, Postmates, DoorDash, and I want to say it was either Instacart, no, Lyft. And the thing is they compensate you. When the government grants Uber and Lyft money for certain areas, and especially in bigger cities where they will compensate you for wait time, for ride time, even with for food delivery. Say a customer cancels an order, you're going to make payment on at least half, if not more than half of what that ride would have costed you to compensate your time for sitting there. So it would be at no loss to the Uber driver other than an inconvenience to their time. In my personal opinion, once again. But I did customer service for all 4 companies when I stayed down in Florida. And generally most of those ride sharing services or food delivery services, they break off bread when time is wasted. Yeah. But
I love this.
The government grants them money as well for programs like that as well.
Modine has you are one of us, Modine. I force you into an Uber trunk to get you home safe, then I get sued. Laugh out loud.
Oh yeah, I'm the jerk for making sure you got home. Yeah.
Yeah, PJ, that's a whole different live. I'm so disgusted with some of these people, and the sad thing is some of these people are known for doing this to Summer's case. And I'm going to leave it at that. Tony says, kidnapping, life sentence, laugh out loud.
Well, Jen was trying to give me away yesterday.
If Natalie Holloway would not have left her friends and gone with that creep, she would still be alive. Some friends can't stop you from doing what. That's facts as well. Facts as well. You'll behave. Honey, you ain't got to behave. You ain't got to behave at all. But if I get on my soapbox, y'all, we'll be here another hour. Good Lord. And then I had to turn it on subscribers mode only to keep the trolls out. And then y'all gonna get me all they get me all riled up. Also, those that went through it. Okay, I was up. Okay, you're good. You're so good. Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree as well.
I hate the part. Okay. I do want to say thank you for bringing me on panel tonight. Thank you, everybody in chat. FarQ, Laura, everybody else that's been here tonight. Vesper, Tony. Just kind of, if I haven't mentioned your name, I do want to say thank you. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the patience. It really was. Yesterday was intense as it was, and then waking up to the news that I had this morning. As soon as I woke up, I jumped immediately. Okay, what's going on? And at least when I woke up, they had found him.
Yeah, it was hard to get my phone and send that message, but
because last night when we were sitting on the front, Jen even grabbed me. She's like, because normally when they call the parents in for something like that, they're there for identification purposes, and that's the one where it's not You know, so like
Yeah.
we were, everybody standing there on the sidewalk, their heart was probably pounding, if not sinking into the bottom of their guts. So my heart goes out to everybody out that night, not just because just everybody who's been a part of this, everybody who's been searching for this gentleman and pushes and moves forward to day by day to help with these cases and work for these cases and try to bring peace to these families. Thank you all by giving me the opportunity to be here and showing me the same love and respect that you guys have shown Mom here.
Well, welcome out of the bushes and into the community. This is the tech guy that does all the beautiful stuff in the background. If you guys join the Discord, we got fishing, we got music, we got conversation, we got true crime, we got just crazy memes, you know. Everybody's welcome to join that Discord link.
One going, who knows?
What?
I said maybe one night me and you can get some Area 51 going and we'll do like a live stream.
Dude, I'm all about shooting some, you know, shooting some aliens. Area 51. We do aliens, Bigfoot, you know, it's a mix up around here.
But I'm gonna sign off for the night. I know you had one more video to go ahead and watch, but
yes.
if you go ahead and give me a ring here later.
I will.
I was but it's okay. It's okay. But thank you for yesterday. By all means, thank you for giving me the opportunity to go down there. By all means, thank you, Mom.
Good night, Laura D. Thank you. Catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for coming up and spending your evening with us. Go tend to your little mean bean and the rock star and the kids and the kitties and
yeah. I got a couple things I got to wrap up here, and then I'll probably hit you up here a little bit.
Okay. Love you. Thank you again for everything you did. You're awesome.
Love
you.
You
Want
guys.
me to yeet you or are you getting off?
Huh?
Do you want me to yeet you or are you coming down?
Oh, I can jump down.
Okay.
Out. Here, hold on.
Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm gonna go through chat real quick and then I'm gonna go ahead. Thank you guys so much for all the love and appreciation. And he rewatches everything. He rewatched the whole live last night. We were up till late. Yeah. Don't get Tony into UFOs. Oh, we're going to have a good conversation, man. I'm telling you, check out some of my older content. Like it's all kinds of mixed up. You know, you never know what you're going to see on here. You have to go to bed. All right. I think PJ forgot to go to bed. Good night, everybody. Love and light. Thank you for being here. Good night, honey. Good night. Hope to see you guys all again soon. Those guys that are still hanging in here with me, I'm going to say go ahead and grab your tissues because you're going to need them. And I'm going to pull up the video of Riley's parents' press conference tonight, guys.
Really appreciate the work they've done. The United Cajun Navy has come in to assist them. They've done a lot of work on the water and land for us. Came in and gave structure to this investigation on our side of it and helped keep things lined out. Dave Flag here with the United Cajun Navy. They've been a great asset to us. The individuals in the area that have come in contact with us that have helped us with numerous things, gathering supplies and taking care of stuff like that, putting up flyers and whatnot. The Ward family for all their work. They put up a ton of flyers around town. They've been making phone calls. They've been assisting us in any way they can. All the people that have donated items to them that they've got to us throughout this whole ordeal. All the people back home in our own personal lives that have been there to support us, and our family at home as well. Thank you for keeping us in your thoughts and prayers. We can't say enough to all of you. Thank you. Oh, I wanted to mention also Gary and Skip Butler come in with the airboats. We've been on the water for a few days with those guys. They've been great to work with us. We can't thank them anymore. It's just unbelievable what they've done for us.
Most of you are familiar with seeing my face by now. I'm sure we're all ready for it to be over with. It's been an emotional roller coaster. We're quite thankful for everything that you've done for our family. The grace that you've given us, it means a lot, more than you'll ever know. We have learned through this ordeal that everybody has brought all the good to us. We've had a little bad. You're going to have that. But it has given us faith in people that sometimes gets clouded by what we're constantly hearing. We're extremely thankful for all the volunteers that have shown up, given us their time, their effort, their energy, very little sleep they've gone on. Our family, we can't thank our family enough for all the support that they've provided us, for all the, time spent, the love, the energy. Our friends that we consider family that aren't able to be here, that have been at home, carrying everything that we can't take care of, thank you. To the people of Nashville, I can't thank you enough for the support, the love, the encouragement that you've shown myself and my wife and Ryan and Millie. You don't understand how much that meant to us in some of our darkest hours. The hugs, the prayers, the offers. I can't say it enough. Thank you. To the Nashville Police Department. We know this hasn't been easy. We've tried to handle it with as much grace and poise as we can. It's hard. It's never quick enough when it's your family member. Like I told everybody numerous times, if he was 2 blocks away from us and they were walking him to us, it wasn't quick enough. We want him 2 inches in front of us. So thank you for everything that you've done for us. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I just want to reiterate how thankful we are for everyone and how much we appreciate everyone's support and love and prayers, because we feel them. We have felt every one of them, every single one. I just ask that you mamas out there hug your babies tight tonight, please. Please, for me, just hug your babies tight tonight. And again, thank you. Thank you for sharing our story.
Yeah, I'm not going to take a lot of time. Most of what I would say would just be to echo what's already been said. Outside of that, I would like to extend my thanks to the media community here and the national media community, who by large has been very gracious and very respectful of the situation. It's something that has not frequently been encountered in these situations, in my experience. As far as the Cajun Navy goes, since this is going to be a more or less a short interlude, if there is any interest in it, we would be happy to hold another meeting with the press, and it will likely be tomorrow sometime. Best place would probably be the public park where we first met, and you can let me know afterwards if there's interest in that. We'd be happy to help you. Thank you.
All right, guys. So that was the. I said I wasn't going to cry. I've watched it 3 times. Hug your babies. Whether they're your babies, your fur babies, whoever you love. And here's your hug too, honey. And a hug for all of my community and everybody that was here and was a part. And I'm so sorry. Normally I'm a rock when it comes to these cases, but when it's these boys, it gets to my heart. Guys, thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you all for being a part of the community. Thank you for your support. Remember, if you see something, say something. We never give up. It takes a village to raise a child, and I love and appreciate every one of you. Y'all have a beautiful night, and I'll catch you on the flip side.